Hey, what's up guys, Arwoht here, and today we are going over rogue runes in Season of Discovery. Now, I'm not a rogue player myself, so I won't be able to give you my opinion on how some of these runes will perform. However, I can still share them with you. So if you are interested into checking rogue runes in Season of Discovery, stay tuned. First one we have on the list is Deadly Brew. When you inflict any other poison on a target, you also inflict deadly poison. This is just nice overall rune, however, I'm not sure it will be prioritized over some other options. Next one we have is Just a Flesh Wound, and this is actually a tanking rune, which turns rogues into tanks. I don't really have positive opinion on rogue tanks. To me, when you hear rogue, you don't imagine them as a tanks, so not something that I would prefer to see. However, positive option here is that Blizzard is willing to experiment, it's willing to change the game a bit, it's willing to provide the different options, which is always good. And in Season of Discovery, it's a perfect place to do that because it will be, at least for the first time, it will be like a season, and then Blizzard can decide based on the players' input if this is something that they liked. However, I don't necessarily think that rogue players will just jump into tanking on the rogues, especially since other classes like warriors, paladins, druids, even shamans and warlocks are better tanks, or have an option to tank. Paladins are receiving taunt, so compared to other tanks, I'm just not sure that rogue will be preferred option. However, they have that option now. So what Just a Flesh Wound does is you take 20% reduced physical damage while Blade Dance is active. Additionally, you have 6% reduced chance to be critical hit by melee attacks. The threat generated by all your actions is massively increased, and your feint ability is replaced with Tease, which taunts the target to attack you. Next one is Quick Draw. Draw your ranged weapon and fire a quick shot at an enemy, causing normal ranged weapon damage and reducing the target's movement speed by 50% for 6 seconds. Awards 1 combo point. This is a PvP rune. It won't be used in PvE. What it does is just, gives you a combo point and reduces movement speed by 50%. This is similar to Hunter's Days. So, but it is really good option in PvP, as rogues will be able to catch on their targets easier. It's a ranged slow, it's 20 yards range, so it's not like full 30 plus yards range, but it's still something that can help rogues catch their targets or even kite. Slaughter from the Shadows reduces the energy cost of your backstab and ambush abilities by 20. I'm not sure how good will this one be. I don't think this one will be used in PvP that much. Maybe it will be good for leveling, if you like opening with ambush, to faster kill the mobs. But in PvP, I would say that mostly you will be using cheap shot from the stealth, maybe some PvE option here, but I think it will be useful for leveling if you decide to go that route. However, I don't see this being used in PvP. Between the Eyes, ranged finishing mode that causes damage per combo point increased by attack power and stuns the target. Cooldown shared with Kidney Shot. This is 20-yard range, so that means that rogues are receiving ranged Kidney Shot. Another option for rogues to be able to see from a range. I think that this one will be pretty broken in PvP, to be honest. Rogues are already one of the best PvP classes out there, and receiving ranged Kidney Shot just seems broken, especially in Classic Plus, since you don't have that many defensive options, you don't have that many tools to play with. Yes, other classes are also receiving some different options on their runes that will help them either survive or do damage, but ranged Kidney Shot in a game that's Classic, it just seems too OP for PvP. Blade Dance, finishing mode that increases your parry chance, lasts longer, and grants more parry chance per combo point. So at one combo point it's 14 seconds and 6% parry. For 5 points it's 30 seconds and 10% parry. I feel like this is a tanking rune. I don't think necessarily that this will be used in PvP. It won't be used in PvE for DPS rogues. However, for tanking rounds, they needed something like this because you don't have that much health, you don't have that much armor, and you can't wear shields. So with Blade Dance rune, you will be receiving 10% parry chance. And keep in mind that also for the one of the first runes that we saw, where is it? Yeah, just a flesh wound. You take 20% reduced physical damage while Blade Dance is active. So I believe that you will be able to have Blade Dance active for 100% of the time, which means that you will be taking 20% reduced physical damage, while also having between 6 to 10% increased parry chance. Again, I don't think that this will be that broken or overpowered because rogues are missing a lot of armor, missing a lot of health, and they cannot block as well. Compared to, let's say, even to bear druids that get a lot of additional armor by going into the bear form. I feel like this will just make them competitive. Will it be enough? Maybe. Will it make them broken? I don't think so. Even with 100% uptime and 20% reduced physical damage, it doesn't feel like they will be better tanks than some other true tanking classes. Next one we have is Envenom, finishing move that deals instant poison damage based on your deadly poison doses on the target. Following the Envenom attack, you have a 75% increased frequency of applying instant poison for 1 second plus an additional 1 second per combo point. One dose is activated per combo point. This sounds like a really good raid rune. So for killing the bosses, you will stack deadly poison on the boss, then you will use Envenom, and you will dish a lot of instant damage and also apply additional poison damage. Then you will stack the deadly poison and then you will use Envenom again. I feel like this is a really good DPS option for DPS rogues and it will increase your DPS a lot. Mutilate instantly attacks with both weapons for 100% weapon damage plus additional damage with each weapon. Damage is increased by 20% against poison targets and it awards 2 combo points. Mutilate is just overall good spell. I feel like it's good in PvP, PvE, in raids, in dungeons. In any scenario, Mutilate may be a default choice for rogues. Now, I cannot really say, again, I'm not a rogue player, but Mutilate was always a strong damaging ability for the rogues. Shadow Strike teleports behind your target and strike, causing 100% weapon damage to the target. Must be stealthed. Awards 1 combo point. Now, Shadow Strike is a gap closer, but you have to be stealthed. It may help in PvP for chasing runners or making sure that you are finishing your targets. However, there may be some more useful choices. It is also nice for leveling, as you will be able to cap close to mobs easier. However, it will remove stealth because you will do 100% weapon damage, which means that you won't be able to use cheap shot or ambush. So, where I see this being used is maybe in some PvP situations, but also in dungeons for tanking rogues, even for DPS rogues, just to have that gap closer to initiate the fight. Maybe nice options to have. A nice option to have. Then Saber Slash, viciously slash an enemy for 130% weapon damage and cause the target to bleed for certain amount of damage every 2 seconds for 12 seconds, stacking up to 3 times. Awards 1 combo point. Saber Slash benefits from all talents and effects that trigger from or modify Sinister Strike. It's really hard for me to say how good this ability is. It costs 55 energy and it deals certain amount of damage, and it's also a bleed that stacks up to 3 times. I don't see anything special from this ability, to be honest. Maybe it does a lot of damage and it may be used in raids, as it sounds like that you will be, getting that passive bleed damage, and it looks like it does a lot of instant damage. Now, I'm not sure how interesting or how good this rune will be, but it is another option that Rogue can use in Season of Discovery. Then we have Shiv. Instantly attack with your offhand weapon with a 100% chance to apply the poison from your offhand weapon to the target. Slower weapons require more energy. Shiv is a decent spell. I'm not sure how good will it be in PvP because usually rogues, uh, when they open on you and they stun you, they have enough time to for your poisons to apply, so you will be almost always slowed if you fight a rogue. So yeah. Then we have main Gauche, or whatever the fuck that is. Instantly strikes with your offhand weapon for normal offhand weapon damage and increases your chance to parry by 10% for 10 seconds. Awards 1 combo point. It benefits from all talents and effects that trigger from or modify Sinister Strike. 20 seconds cooldown. I feel like this will be used by tanks, so you will have even further increased chance to parry. So this is 10% for 10 seconds. Then you have 10% from blade dance, that's 20%. And I don't know what is the percentage that you can get up to with the rogues, but even with these two abilities alone, you will have 20% parry chance. Will this be picked up in PvP? I don't necessarily think so. Maybe if you are fighting another rogue, it's pretty much useless against ranged classes. And that would be all for today's video. These are all rogue runes in Season of Discovery that we will have initially. Thank you very much for watching, and if you enjoyed it, please like and subscribe for more. Bye!